Okay, what's going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new episode of Energized. Ross, it's the final day of the season. Are you looking forward to it, man?
Man, I'm very excited about the season. The final day. A lot is left to be decided. Man United play Leicester City. Chelsea play Wolves. The race for the top four is on. The relegation battle is absolutely rife at the moment. It looks like teams are fighting very hard to be relegated as opposed to not be relegated. The Europa League is still to be decided.
Yeah.
At the very top of the table, all said and done, Liverpool lifted the trophy in Anfield with a 5-3 win over Chelsea. Very impressive. Some great goals in the game. Frank Lampard was the only person who left the stadium unhappy in that one. He was unhappy with the Liverpool backroom staff. It was actually like quite an impressive celebration that was set up for them. I'll give credit where credit's due. And then Man City are a mile clear of everyone in second. So like 1 and 2 was all said and done.
Yeah.
But
So
3 and 4 is very much left to be played for.
yeah, as you always say, 3 balls into 2 holes doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Yeah. So here, look, Ross, right? As we said, top 4 race, Europa League, relegation. If you are new to the show, make sure to like, subscribe, and let us know who you think is going to get in the top 4 or relegated. So let us know. Ross, we may as well kick it off with the biggest game that's going to happen this weekend. Leicester City taking on Man United. This is at 4 o'clock on Sunday. Every game is going to be on at 4 o'clock. Ross, what are you expecting from this Leicester City versus Man United game? Because as you can see, if they both draw and Chelsea lose, they both qualify. If United win, they'll definitely qualify. If Leicester win, they'll qualify. What are you expecting from this game, man?
I actually expect is a bit like expectation versus reality. What I do expect is both teams to be extraordinarily tentative, almost trying not to lose, more so than trying to win the game. I really think if I was Man United, if I was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I'd be going out trying to win the game. I feel like with the injuries that Leicester have at the moment, I think Sionchu was suspended, Pereira's injured, I think there's Maddison's injured, maybe Chilwell's injured. Man United have to lick their lips looking at that team. Like, our team is better than that team. If we just play the better football, we will go out and win. We should attack them and try and score. Like, Wes Morgan is very, very slow. So therefore, there's no way he can actually stop Martial and Marcus Rashford and Mason Greenwood. So Man United should actually just go for the game. We saw Leicester just lose 3-0 to Spurs very convincingly. Harry Kane and Son had their way with them. The Man United front line should be able to have their way with them. And they should be able to go and get the 3 points there. From a Leicester's point of view, they're going to try and keep it very, very tight. You know what I mean? Indeed, he's brilliant in central defensive midfield. He'll be trying to break up all the play. He'll be glued to Bruno Fernandes, I imagine, trying to take him out of the game. And I think if, from Leicester's point of view, if you can take Bruno Fernandes out of the game, Man United struggle to be creative.
Yeah. Well, like,
We expect that breakdown, but
no, you didn't take a breath. That's how passionate you were. I thought, see, United have been like literally stumbling over these last couple of games. Now they're still unbeaten in the league since the return of since it's come back, but they couldn't really break Southampton down. And in the last game there against West Ham, they couldn't really break them down. Obviously, once they scored, it's almost a danger now going into this game, knowing you only need a draw. And
yeah, that's definitely true. You know what I mean? It's a strange game because normally you play for the win every game. You know what I mean? But like the draw will suffice.
Yeah, like do they pre-match be like, right, let's both get a draw, and then like 90th minute, Vardy goes and scores a goal. Like look at Harry Maguire. People are like, is he even worth all this money? He's going back to his old club, his old stadium, last day of the season. If they lose. If Man U lose, then the team he left for 85 million get into the Champions League, and he doesn't. Like that's good. That's going to probably make him the biggest flop of the year. You know?
Yeah, well, there will definitely have more people question than already are. You know what I mean?
The way Man U have been playing, I don't think they will win on the weekend. Now, going over all these players that are out injured, they're definitely the favourites. But the way they've been performing, I would not bet on Man United to win. I looking at it now, I think there's a higher possibility of a draw. If Leicester had a full team out, I think Leicester would have won. But I now think it will be a draw. But I also expect Wolves to beat Chelsea. So I think United are literally going to trip into the top 4. And then what do they do after the game? Do they go, yes, top 4 lads, yeah? Or are they like, we're actually an embarrassment?
Well, I think like, I think it'll almost be like, oh, the season's over, sort of. Well done, third spot. Because I'm pretty sure if you offered Man United third spot at the start of the season, they would have went, that's fine, yeah, we'll take that. And then, yeah, I suppose the Chelsea-Wolves game is another game. Wolves can beat anyone on their day, and they've been seen to do that. Chelsea, on the other hand, they blow very hot and cold. Obviously, like, they got hammered 3-0 by Sheffield United. No one expected that. But then they've gone out and they beat Man United 3-1 in the FA Cup. They gave Liverpool a great game at Anfield there the other night. The only thing is, will they have tired bodies going into the last game of the season against Wolves? Who knows? Yeah. They also have one eye probably on the FA Cup final as well. So it's going to be a hard one to sort of, judge. And
Ross,
Chelsea
who wants it? Like, it doesn't seem like these teams want to get into the Champions League.
No, it doesn't seem like anyone wants it. Sorry, Chelsea, a draw will do Chelsea because that will put them on 64 points. So I think Chelsea will get top 4. If a draw is enough, I think they'll be able to get a draw. That puts them in the top 4. And then, if I had to be honest, I would say I think United will win. I think this is the time for your Pogba, your Bruno Fernandes, your Martial and Rashford to be like, lads, we want it this year. We have to go get it. You know what I mean? I feel like that Man United team almost just needs a Roy Keane-esque speech, and then they'll go out and get the job done.
What, send Ferguson to Leicester and get him in that change room?
Yeah, not being bad, like, but I think something like that will get the job done. You know what I mean? That will spark them on to do it. Like, those lads just need to kick up the hole. They don't need it's not like they don't have the talent.
Ross, these players get everything their hearts desire, right? All the best looking women or men, whatever they're into. All the best cars, all the best holidays, all the best food, everything laid out for them. The hundreds of thousands of pounds in their bank accounts, like, everything is done for them. What more do they need to go for it? What needs to encourage them to go for it? Because if you look at past Man United teams, we were never looking at being like, hopefully Gary Neville has a good game. You know what I mean? It was just like a guaranteed good game from like everyone. There was no like dramas. There was no like, it wasn't like watching Geordie Shore or California or Love Island. It's just there's just something always going on in the background. Whereas like back in the day, it was like everyone went out, they signed in to work and they signed out of work. This is like, there's such a merry-go-round. And it's not only Man United. It's like Leicester and like drowning, and Chelsea are just like amazing, terrible, amazing, terrible. Like,
well, I do
what
think
is going on?
I do think there's a talent issue at Leicester at the moment. Like, when they lose their like players from their starting 11, like the talent goes from like 7, 8, 9 to like 5, 4, 6. You know what I mean? Especially in the defense as well. You know what I mean? Like, Wes Morgan's like 36 and like moves like a snail. Soyuncu's an absolute, like, he's Leicester version of Manjovic. So like there's a definite like drop in talent and drop in performance there. I suppose Man United, look, these players all get it, but at the moment, if I was a Man United player, I'd want to perform, because if I don't, the transfer window's only around the corner, and they will get out the checkbook and replace you.
Yeah, but also, where do these players want to play in the Champions League? Do they, or are they, I don't think any of the players are happy having a Thursday night game and then having to play Sunday all the time. Like, what do they want for next year? Like, this isn't just one game. This like implicates what happens next year, what happens in the summer
and the following year.
Yeah,
like the more you play Europa League, the harder it is back to get into Champions League, because like, playing Thursday nights and Sundays are not ideal for anyone. No one wants to be doing that.
Yeah, like, do they have to sit at home now and be like, here, look, I want to be doing something else on a Thursday night. I'm sick of playing Sundays. My family come over and visit me in either Manchester.
Yeah,
Leicester,
I want to be doing Thursdays.
Yeah, but hold on, right?
Thursdays and Nando's.
Yeah, but hold on, right? The game's so global now that like the players that are playing for United, Chelsea, Leicester, right? Their families will be flying in from all over the world to watch them play. they'd much rather be playing on a Wednesday or Tuesday, depending on what day the Champions League game is, and a Saturday. So therefore, they can enjoy their Saturday night with their family who flew in from all over the world. Because if you're playing Thursdays and Sundays, you can't really enjoy your Saturday night because you have a game on Sunday, and then your family are going to be flying home the next day. You know what I mean? Like these are things they should be really looking into and being like, look. And also, you get a bonus at the end of the day for qualifying for the Champions League, and you can only be called a top player if you are in the Champions League with the top players. Like beating Lask 5-0 does not make you a superstar.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all.
This is a massive look at who deserves to be wearing these shirts. Like I'll let Leicester off with it slightly because they have a lot of injuries and their squad isn't that big, and I feel like they are slightly overperforming. But Chelsea and United, if one of them miss out on this, then like they need to take a serious look at themselves.
But also pre-lockdown to now, Man United have gained 15 points on Leicester. You know what I mean?
I know.
Like it's very, very impressive. Or sorry, since Bruno Fernandes came in, they've gained 15 points on Leicester.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they've really scratched and clawed their way there, and now like it's within grasp. They've after putting butter all over their fingers. You know what I mean?
And they did this last year as well.
Yeah, they did. But look, at the end of the day, Basmo, we're just going to have to call it. So, can Manchester United get a win or a draw against Leicester City on the last day of the season?
I'm going for a draw, and then United to qualify that way. That's what I'm going for.
I think United are going to get the win. I think Leicester are going to end up in the Europa League. And you know what? I think Leicester could make a very good run through Europa League next year. I don't think it's actually a terrible spot for them to be in.
Yeah.
Because, like, not being bad, but I don't think Leicester are going to compete for the Premier League next year, but they could compete for the Europa League next year.
Yeah, it sounds bad, but it would suit them more for the Europa League. So because their players, they haven't got an amazing bench. It's not as if United do either, but the squad isn't as big as we can see. And also the cards are stacked against them. They have 3 of their 4 starters meant to be missing this weekend, which is huge. So then, what do you make of the Chelsea and Wolves game, Ross?
Chelsea are home. They're playing very good football at the moment. Whether like all the results are going their way or not, they are playing very well. Obviously, they had that unfortunate loss to Sheffield United 3-0. That was a bit uncharacteristic. But, you know, they beat Palace, they beat Watford, they only beat Norwich 1-0. But when they have, like, their best team out, if they have, you know, I don't know if N'Golo Kante is back or not, but, like, Kovacic seems to be playing very well in midfield. Pulisic looks great. Willian looks great. And then Giroud's on fire at the moment. You know, I didn't think I'd be saying that this season, but he really, really is. And like Tammy Abraham's actually hungry to get off the bench and score a goal as well. So I think they will get the job done. Wolves at the moment, they also need the results to sort of guarantee themselves the Europa League spot for next season, because Spurs are playing Palace, and Palace are one of the worst teams in the league, and they're breathing down Wolves' neck right now. So it will be a tough one for Chelsea, but I can't envision them getting the job done. But a point would be enough if it was a draw. So it's more so the fact that Chelsea can win or draw, and that will get them into the top 4. Because take it, if Man United draw with Leicester, well then Chelsea will move up to 3rd. And if Leicester win, Chelsea will go ahead of Man United. And if Man United win, Chelsea will remain ahead of Leicester. So Chelsea just need to win or draw.
Yeah, so...
And the odds are stacked in their favour.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with United and Chelsea to go through.
Yeah. Yeah, but those teams need a win or draw. Leicester have to win.
Yeah, so then we're both saying like Leicester to come 5th. And then... what about Spurs then? Do you think Spurs will overtake Wolves into the 6th spot?
I think there's a very high chance, especially considering I expect Spurs to win, so I would favour them to get that 6th spot, to be honest.
Yeah, Harry Kane seems to be back on track as well. And then, so there we go. Liverpool to win the league, if people didn't know. Man City, Man U, Chelsea, Leicester, Tottenham to come 6th, Wolves come 7th. So the only real
6th, and then the last spot in Europe and then the last spot become available in Europe will be the winner of the FA Cup. So if Chelsea win the FA Cup, which they'll also be favourites for there, Arsenal could win it also. If Arsenal win it, they will get Europa League. But if Chelsea win it, it will go to 7th spot, which will be Wolves or Spurs, and there'll be a party all round. One last thing to discuss just on top four is Manchester United and Wolves are both still in the Europa League. If either of those two teams do win that, they will be also in the Champions League. And if Wolves win the Europa League, they'll be in Champions League next year. That will actually add another spot for Europa League to the league. And I think that would actually mean Sheffield United might get it if or whoever finishes in 8th will probably get Europa League if Wolves won the Europa League, which would be crazy.
Yeah, there could be an absolute shuffle going on this weekend as well.
Yeah.
And if you're new to the show, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and also let us know who you think is going to make it into the top 4. Because Ross, I think it's time to move into the relegation battle. Because at the moment, Aston Villa are coming 17th on 34 points, and Watford are coming 18th on 34 points.
In fairness, this is an absolute great escape from Aston Villa. They're after getting 7 points out of the last 9.
Jack Grealish keeping them up.
Yeah, here, tell me this, right? Before we get into the relegation battle, well, it's one of the main talking points of the relegation battle, right? What were Watford doing getting rid of Nigel Pearson? 2 games to go. They were sitting above the relegation zone. And when Nigel Pearson took over, Watford were last.
Not too sure. Myself and yourself made a joke about how his son made a sex tape when he was at Leicester and then slagging Asian people. So maybe the Watford owners were like, "Oh shit, we didn't know this."
Yeah, or if his name was Nogelini Piercioni, because Watford are owned by Italians, they might have actually just kept him on. Very, very strange, and especially considering the last 2 games he had to play were going to be Man City and Arsenal, which were never easy games to be like, right, you're sacked. Whoever was coming in was like coming into like a terrible job.
Well, maybe they're best off getting the new person in now, just seeing who actually looks like they're bothered in their arse. If they're not bothered, he's like, right, they're out. You know what I mean? You're best off getting the poison out of ASAP. But Ross, can we just look at Bournemouth for a second? They're on 31 points.
You know what? I was watching Sky Sports the other day, and they would not say Bournemouth are relegated. Bournemouth are relegated, man. They just are.
They're playing like everything.
Man, there's no escape for Bournemouth.
Okay.
Like let's be honest. They'd have to win, and both Aston Villa and Watford would have to lose. That's just not happening. You know what I mean?
But hold on. Watford playing Arsenal.
Yeah.
And then
who have nothing to play for?
Yeah, and Aston Villa are playing West Ham.
Who have nothing to play for.
Very possible though in the end. Okay, right. Well, then you think Bournemouth are going to get relegated. So here, between Aston Villa and Watford, who are getting the shot, man?
I think it's going to be Watford, to be honest. I think Villa could be able to scrape a point, if not maybe a win against West Ham. To be honest, like those boys must have had like a serious party after last game, and also I do think Watford could potentially also get a win, just based on the fact that Arsenal are going to have one eye on that FA Cup and be like, right, rest all the best players for the FA Cup.
But Arsenal still might get into those Europa League spots.
That's only if
so
Wolves
that's almost
won the Europa League.
No, but that's almost backing up your point. So you think that Arsenal will probably not lose?
No, I think Arsenal will play a B team because Arsenal's road to Europe is the FA Cup.
I wouldn't 100% agree with you, man, because
but 8th doesn't get Europa League. Yeah, but 8th doesn't get the Europa League unless Wolves win the Europa League.
Yeah, but if
then you're counting on Wolves to win the Europa League.
Or United.
Yeah, but I just don't see that. I think Arteta will rest all the players for the FA Cup final.
Well, you see, we agreed to disagree on this last time because you thought Ollie would put out a full team for United, and I didn't think that at all, and he ended up not doing that. So I think he's going to be like, right, last day of the season, well, win this, week off, boom. Like whatever team he's probably going to play in the FA final, he's probably going to play in this.
Well, Arsenal already did Villa a favour and lost 1-0 to them, so they might do Watford a favour and lose 1-0 to them too.
I know, man. I know. So
like, only Arsenal could be Liverpool and Man City in 1 week and then lose to Aston Villa.
So who is joining Norwich and Bournemouth in the championship next year, according to Ross Catwell?
Oh, you know what? I'm going to say Watford, I think.
Yeah,
which
your
would be
best.
sad to say. Oh, you know what? It's easier to say the team that's already in the relegation zone.
Yeah. That's very you going with that. Like the same way we
You know
picked
what?
the Champions League.
You
Picks.
know what? No, I'm going to flip it on his head. I am going to say Watford get a result. Oh no, West Ham look pretty good recently, so I think West Ham might be able to beat Villa. The team that should go down are Villa. Like Watford are far more equipped next year to be playing Premier League than Villa are. That's my opinion on it, really. But I don't know. It's a bit like Watford. Like I'm like they deserve to go down now because they treated Pearson so badly.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to say Watford. I'm sick with Watford. Watford are going down.
Watford. I'm going for Watford as well, man. And then see, that's terrible for a lot of teams. Would probably prefer Aston Villa to go down so they can get Jack Grealish on the cheaper.
Yeah. Oh no, people might be like, we'll get to Corey instead. The bleeding destroyer.
Do you know what? If Aston Villa go down, Paul guessed Norwich, Bournemouth, and Aston Villa when he was on there a while ago.
I think I guessed Brighton, didn't I?
You said Norwich, Villa, and Brighton, and I said Norwich, West Ham, and Villa. So Ross, the teams that are gonna get top four, obviously Man City, Liverpool, Man City, Man United, and Chelsea. That's what we're both agreeing on. Yeah, but I'm just so skeptical about that United team. I won't be surprised if they threw it away.
Leicester 5th, Spurs 6th, Wolves 7th.
Yeah, and then we're both saying that Watford, Bournemouth, and Norwich are going to be down in the Championship next year.
Yeah. Shout out to Leeds, who are automatically promoted into Premier League next year, champions. I think Bielsa seems like a serious character, so I'm actually excited to see him back in the Premier League. Well, not him, but Leeds. West Brom did like their very best not to get automatically promoted, but they did in the end. And then, did you see what happened in the playoff spots?
No.
On the last day of the season, Not Forest had 70 points and Swansea had 67 points. And Not Forest had a 4-goal better difference than Swansea did. And Swansea won 4-1 on the last game of the season, and Not Forest lost 4-1. And Swansea leapfrogged them into the playoff spots. Isn't that absolutely shocking? But also, I was looking at it, and Swansea were playing someone who had nothing to play for. I can't remember even who they were playing. And I think, obviously, word came to Swansea that they only need to score 2 more goals from, the 70th minute. And I wonder if the other team just fuck it, let them score. They're in the playoffs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
there should be some good games next year as well, including the Leeds and the Swanseas and all back. You know what I mean? It should be good stuff, and supposedly the Premier, the fans are going to be allowed back in at the beginning of the next season. That's what they're trying to sort out as well.
Brilliant.
But right. So we've gone over everything: the top 4, Europa League qualifiers, and then also the relegation battle. Ross, anything else to say before we finish this off?
No, guys, just make sure you do like, share, subscribe. As always, stay energized. Leave your comments in the section below.
Stay energized.